Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, and welcome to the next installment too of HoGaLe. Now, of course, the naming is slightly a little bit different now, but in honor of Lady G, you know, it's still HoGaLe. But you will notice there is someone new here on the side. So tonight we have Jen Bushman accompanying Lena and I. And Jen, please say a little hello to the audience. And what have you been up to this week?
Can you say it one more time? You cut out, Hogarth. I apologize.
What have you been up to this week?
Sorry, I'm getting hamster wheels. How are we?
Okay, are you okay? Hello everyone. Welcome. Thank you for having me here. I'm really happy.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you see me? Am I cutting out?
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, sorry. I'm up in the mountains in New Mexico, so this time of day it usually, and we're getting ready for a big rainstorm, so I might cut out my internet, but we just, you know, thank you so much for having me, you guys. I just love you guys, and I hope that Lady G is feeling better.
Much appreciated.
So it's an honor to step in for her, and I hope to do her proud. So
she is such a trooper.
Yeah.
Indeed, and a big shout out, of course, to Lady G, because it's been very difficult. I've been sort of like out all day. I managed to see one of her posts and stuff like that, but you know, she's having a bit of a tough time of it, guys. So of course, send as many healing prayers and stuff like that as possible, so we can hope that she can pull through and at least, you know, begin the recovery process, because it's not easy, is it? It's not easy, you know, and it's a difficult, you know, we say difficult geography, shall we say, to have an operation on. So Lady G, if you are listening to us, big love, and and get well soon, and make sure to take some liquid water over the last few days. So and we'll see. And just so you know, folks, just to let you know, if there are some little technical things, just bear in mind, Mercury's going stationary direct soon. So remember, when he changes direct, so basically he's slowing down and standing still. And I can just see that you know, some of our feeds are going. So just bear with us if it gets a little bit choppy. You know, Mercury retrograde coming to an end, but still technically kind of like the 25th is when he starts kind of getting going. Anyway.
Okay.
So, ladies, shall we start the show? Are you ready?
I'm ready. Ready.
Yeah. The concern.
Yeah.
So my print didn't work.
Your sound is disconnected, Hoagie, but never mind. We'll push on.
Yeah, we'll push on, and it could be because there's quite a few people linked as well. So hopefully it will kind of settle down a little bit. So my printer didn't work today, so it's off my phone, and I prefer analog when it comes to these things. So let's see here. Let's start off with some. Let's see. Okay. So Nicola is in old things, institutions, etc., stuff like that. So Nicola's, just this as a side note, saying, talking of old buildings burning down, a pub in Mitcham, London, which is connected to possibly being.
Where is the pub?
All right, the pub is in Mitcham, London. Did you hear that?
Yeah. Okay.
No?
Yeah, I know. Oh.
Okay. Anyway, it's been up since the 16th with the first question. I don't know why. I mean, this is a bit tricky what's kind of going on with the computer now and getting lots of hamster wheels. But let's just on our first one, let's go to China. So Nicola's asking, water extraction and weight of buildings see half of China's cities sink. Will this become a major issue for China, or do the cards indicate that some balance can be found to stabilize the issue? How about that? Did you hear?
Sort of.
Did you hear
so,
it? Oh man.
So
did you hear the question?
Water extraction in China
gosh,
is
causing
destabilization. So can anything be done to help? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Half of cities apparently are sinking. Do you know what? Yeah, maybe I'll change if it's that bad. You know what? I would say I would go on my phone. What I'll do is it really that bad? All right, let me
it's really bad.
Shuffle.
It's pretty bad, really.
Okay, shuffle.
So Jen and I can go on with this reading.
See. I'll swap. Let's see if I can.
And you work out something. Yeah.
Go for it. I'll join on my phone. Look, I'll leave this here and then I'll read off my laptop. 1 minute. Let me just I'll be back, folks. Ladies, you take the wheel. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay, I'll drive. We're off to China. Okay.
Hello. All right.
I'm so proud of you with your own channel and everything. Jen was a student of mine. Oh,
I know. I love you guys, man. If you have the opportunity, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to,
Okay, let's have a look here.
Lena's tarot is she teaches it very well, you guys. So highly recommend. So what is the question, Lena?
The question is the geology of China. They've pulled huge amounts of water out, which also happens with fracking.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And they keep saying fracking is cheap and causes, is good for cheap. And it's not. We've got a big problem in Australia because it sucks the water out of the aquifers and then things start collapsing,
Okay.
And that's what's happening in China. So what is the future of that? Will there be a technology to help that or not? Okay. So I can kick off here.
Okay, great.
They better get cracking, right? Because here is this Knight of Swords taking off. It's a crisis. It's like so many things. Once it starts, it accelerates. And so they've really got to be careful because the very next card is the Tower. Right? They've really, really got to get their act together. I've got a couple of water cards here, which is the Page and the King of Cups. And so with these cards, I don't know if you can see them on the screen there. So this is about, in terms of water, symbolically in tarot, water is always about the other. Our dreams, our imagination, our creativity, and things. But of course, more literally, flooding and droughts, because droughts are the twin of floods. And so they really, really need to be careful because with massive farming projects and things, the whole of the soil can just wash away. And so in Australia, for example, our topsoil is very poor and very shallow. And so when you do mining and stuff, we've always had floods and droughts. Literally, the farms wash away. And I think China is looking at this sort of scenario. And it's a race against the clock.
Yeah.
With this 10 of Swords. So what did you get, Jen?
I got the Chariot is the signifier over the whole reading. So it's big. and they need to take a defensive posture. That's how I read. That this is becoming, as you say, water works.
Yes.
In the Five of Cups. It's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of energy around it where folks they're sad, they're fighting, and kind of this sacred masculine energy is kind of coming forward and through. I see you guys where it's like a small group of people, of men actually, I see, that are dominating this conversation. And they're taking it to a place where it's more about money versus taking care of the earth and taking care of people. So there's a real conflict going on, I see, where it's very sad. The folks are sad about it.
Yeah, and this, of course, is a global thing. Yeah. Oh, we've lost Jen. Oh, this is a classic Mercury retrograde show, isn't it? We've lost Jen.
Oh my God, we're having a nightmare here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
Oh no, has Jen gone now? Oh,
yes.
literally, like Mercury is standing still today, and it is always, you get this kind of thing. Oh, bloody hell. Can you see? Sorry if you heard me swearing, guys. I hope you didn't hear me swear.
This is much better.
All right. Here we are. 1 second. Let's see. Adding Jen back in. Good. Sorry, folks. Live TV. It happens. Sadly. Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Hi, everybody. I'll have to do some tap dancing. Keep you entertained while the others disappear. It is a comedy night. Oh my God. All right. I'm home alone. Oh. So I don't know what questions Hogarth has for tonight, and I don't expect us to get through a pile of them the way it's going now. I really Story hour, yes. Well, while we're filling in, speaking of stories, I'll just let you know I'm about to go traveling again in 3 weeks, and I'm on my way to Brazil, which is fully fabulous. I've never been to Brazil, so if anyone is from Brazil or has been there, let us know in the comments. Draw a card, Lena, someone said. What's going on with this show? Let me draw a card. We'll see what's happening. What's going on with this show? Oh, my God. Edie, if you're watching, my computer just flashed up that image from Spain. So thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, a card. What have we got? Oh, 7 of Cups. Illusion, delusion, confusion. Isn't that brilliant? Brilliant, brilliant. Love that. So throw me a question, guys. Just throw me a random question and I'll do that while the others are working it out. Yeah, welcome to the Lena Show. Throw me a question. What have we got? What do you want to know? All the illusions, that's right. Yeah. Trump's gag order. Okay, let's have a quick looky here. We'll do an update on that. And Builda. Okay, I'm just going to pull one card for the gag order, okay?
All right. I'm back. Can you
hear
me?
I'm just doing one card for the audience on Trump's gag order.
Right.
Oh, we got the world. Because we, Hogarth and I, representing the rest of the world, know how closely everyone is observing this. It is also the world card, always the end of a major cycle. So I think it's the end of his ability to talk in this crazy, crazy way that he always has. It's an end game for Trump, right? So what people are really asking is, will he go to jail for a gag order offence or, in fact, anything else? I've never thought jail as we see it. It's not a Rikers thing.
Me too.
But he could certainly, and I'm sure they're talking about it. There's word that the judge is talking with security services. They're going to have to build a little playpen for him somewhere where he's, actually guarded and everything. But something has to give, and the world card says we're very, very close to it.
Right.
Okay.
Jen, did you get to pull, as you've seen, I've just been having a horror show tonight. Did you get to pull, Jen, or was it more Mercury stuff for you as well?
No, it was fine.
She read.
I read.
All right. Shall I attempt to pull some cards on the China question? Which
no, I think we should move on. It's 20 past.
All right. Right. So what I've done is I've got the questions up on my laptop now because my phone is a bit more stable. So let's see. So we did talked about the old pub that burnt down from the 16th century, water extraction and China's thingamajigs. Let's see here. Here we are. So will Congress finally passing a bill of aid to Ukraine? Will this arrive in time to prevent Russia getting a foothold in overwhelmed areas? And then Nicola said, I've seen another Republican has decided to quit. So let's talk about the before we read on Ukraine. So is that correct? Has another Republican quit? And does that mean that they've got what's their majority now for the Republicans?
I think they've only got one now, is it?
Yeah, if one quit, then there's a one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. There's two now. So can we clarify that in the chat, please? Is that another Republican in the last 24, 48 hours?
Yeah.
But I've never seen that in my lifetime of people walking out on their own party in an election year. It's staggering.
Yeah.
It's staggering.
Very unusual times.
Yes. A guy from Wisconsin today. They've only got one.
Look at that. Look at that. Do you remember I was talking about, guys? I said the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. Remember, it's become exact today. This is also part of the reason why we're having technical difficulties as well. Uranus also deals with internet, electronics, technology of all kinds. So it's like we're having a Mercury retrograde on steroids. But Jupiter is also as well deals with the law and lawmakers. Uranus is sudden shocks and surprises. Sadly, everyone probably knows, but the guy, remember as well, that guy set himself on fire outside of the thing. And I think the Supreme Court is going to be calling, deciding what they're going to do in terms of Trump on Monday, I think. And then there's something else going on Monday as well. So there's a lot astrologically going on.
Sorry, Hogarth. They've already passed the Ukraine funding.
Yeah.
We just said
Yes,
they have passed it.
Yeah.
So let's swap that question for the next one.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Let's. What for? When you say this one, what do you mean? Do you mean
they've passed the Ukraine funding bill?
I know, but in terms of what do you mean? Like, so what shall we read on? What will happen for the GOP going forward because they've only got one left? Maybe we should read on that.
Will Hakeem Jeffries end up as Speaker?
There we go.
Hakeem Jeffries. Wow. And the guy in Wisconsin stayed for the vote and then left.
Wow.
So that'd be Mike Gallagher.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, unusual stuff, folks. More to come.
Thanks for hanging in, guys.
Lena, the question.
You're right now.
Oh, sorry, guys. The question is, what will happen with the GOP going
Will
forward?
Hakeem Jeffries become Speaker?
Oh, okay. All right. Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem Jeffries becomes Speaker.
Will Hakeem Jeffries become Speaker?
Sorry for the technical difficulties, folks, but there's a lot going on upstairs. A lot.
Oh my goodness. Oh. You know, you guys, including those in the chat, when you're tarot readers, you know how sometimes you ask a question and the cards go, no, not going to answer that. You need to talk about this. And they take you into an underlying issue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happened with my cards here, Hoagie.
Sure. You want to go, Lena? Go for it. Go on. Let us know what you got, Lena.
Cards, 3 major arcana.
Yeah.
And it's actually about the GOP.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they're even breaking their own hearts now. So even, you know, right-wing rationalist, materialist, capitalist Republicans are sort of brokenhearted of what's happened to their party, right?
Mm-hmm.
They really want to take the party in another direction away from this. This is karma, fate, and destiny. It's like for America, it had to get this bad for people to actually engage and leading towards fighting for a better result in terms of what it means as a country. So it was meant to happen. It's going to happen. The devil.
Yeah.
So normally, if we were sitting here in a normal political cycle, that would be people being chained to the big lobbyists, people being chained to their ideologies and stuff. But here it's like literally, it's a death wish for the party to continue with this man being chained to the Yeti. And again, the world card. So it has to happen. But as you as astrologers often say with Pluto, things have to be destroyed before they can be rebuilt. And that's uncomfortable for people. But it's what's happening, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jen, what cards do you have?
Very similar to because I got the devil as the signifier. So
wow, yeah,
it's what is happening, but I've got walking away with the new energy. So I see that they are moving away with that Mike Johnson is leading them into a new place, a new path, that he's pulled away from Trump, that he's moving towards more of the mainstream Republicans. They're turning their backs on Marjorie Taylor Greene, the extremist portion of the Republican Party. I do see Jeffrey standing there at the end with a big smile on his face.
I love that image.
Right, because there is a tower. They're marinating in the tower. So something is going to give. Will he actually get the speakership? I don't see this yet. I still see Steve Scalise over here. When I ask, he always comes in, always off in the distance. So, but they are, the cool thing about it is that Mike Johnson, so in my show, I just did it, that he has been given briefings by, he's more privy now to governmental. He's getting the briefings from the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and you know, he's out of that fifth ring of separation, being the speaker. He is now privy to the frontline information, and he's taking his job more seriously. He's seeing that he will move forward in power if he starts to toe the more moderate line. If he does that, it will keep things in the status quo, I see. So that's what I got.
Fascinating, fascinating. Yeah. I'm gonna read, then introduce the next question, and then I'm gonna grab my glasses because as you can imagine, it's very late for me here, and I've got a lot of bright light in my eyes, so I need to grab those. Didn't have time to grab those. So the question, will Hakeem Jeffries become speaker? And what I would say is broadly is maybe. Maybe. Yeah. So if we look here I've got, I can't believe this is my first read of the night.
No, I know.
It's astonishing, but you know, stuff going on upstairs. So if we look here, we've got the Two of Wands, which of course is the merchant with what? The world in his hands looking out. So if we actually assume this to be Hakeem Jeffries, let's just say, I think he's eyeing up his options, because it's not beyond the realms of possibility now. You know, I mean, the GOP, I mean, they've only got one guy or gal left in the game, and then it's going to be 50-50. I mean, if any of them kind of sneeze too hard or break wind too hard, you know, that could be it. Yeah. So if I look at this from the perspective of Hakeem Jeffries, he's eyeing up his options. However, I think this can also be Mike Johnson as well, who's starting to take a bit more of a global view on things. He's starting to actually look at the GOP in a kind of a wider context, not just of the world, but I think of America. And even though we don't particularly agree with him or whatever, but he does seem to be at least reasonably intelligent, at least intelligent enough to recognize what a kamikaze suicide mission is, with Marjorie Taylor Greene, of course, driving the aeroplane. Yeah. So there's that. I mean, she's almost beyond description. Didn't someone start calling her Moscow Marjorie?
Oh, great.
Yeah, and apparently it's stuck. Yeah, so there you are. You know, I prefer leaky douchebag blowhard, but that's not to say. Anyway, we look here in the opposition or the obstacle position. Here we have the Nine of Wands embattled. I mean, even if it's upside down, whatever, we know what this is. This is the crazies, just doing their mad stuff. But I think it's just reached a level now where it's hard to stomach. Even for those that were very kind of radical, they're just seeing their party just disintegrate in front of their eyes. And I think even for them now, it's become overwhelming. It's too much. It's too much. Why? Because there's, look, Seven of Cups, so much delusion and cray-cray going around. I mean, like Lena was saying, when you know that your majority is razor thin, you know, when you've literally just got pretty much a pubic hair in it, is that really the time? But it's true, though, isn't it? Is that really the time to be like, down with the speaker, blah, 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 let Ukraine burn and everything? It's just madness. And I think this is what's happened. Some of those in the GOP have really, at long last, realized this is a nutbaggery. It's a cult. It's a cult.
Yeah.
Mike Johnson is trying to get himself in the driver's seat and he's using every tool he's got at his disposal to try and maintain his position and stay in. But this could also be Hakeem Jeffries getting ready to what? Roll up his sleeves and do a magic trick. I think these male cards are speaking about both men. However, the reason why I say not yet is because the outcome card is the Hermit card. And, you know, the Hermit card is not a screaming yes or no card. It means, you know, going to ground, cogitating, meditating on things, research, etc. So I think in a way it's true for both men. Mike Johnson obviously wants to maintain his position. He's actually starting to show his power and show that he is at least a little bit of a grown-up. This could be Hakeem, though, as the pretender, the speaker in waiting. But really, the outcome card is saying, not yet. This is an underground card. I think a few more shoes need to fall before it's Hakeem, but possible. So maybe. Right. Let me, ladies, talk amongst yourselves. Let me run and get my
glasses. Yeah, and this isn't saying that we think Mike Johnson's wonderful. You know, he is a theocrat. He wants to take things back to the 1800s in religious terms and stuff. And do you remember when he first got in, we'd never heard his name, and there was that weird story where he and his son monitor each other's porn sites or something. I mean,
and yeah,
what is that about?
And he called himself Aaron, which is Moses's mouthpiece.
Oh, stop.
Right. Moses wasn't a great public speaker. So Aaron was like someone who, you know, was one of his fans. So he appointed him as his mouthpiece. So Mike Johnson came on and said, I am Aaron to Trump's Moses. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's extraordinary.
Shall we see what the Bard has to say about Mike Johnson?
Yes, please.
Let's whip out. We're going for the Shakespeare card.
Okay.
So Lena,
thank you, Igor. One of our viewers has produced these cards of Shakespeare's insults, and you've got the book then.
So I'll
we'll do one each, folks. Now
yes,
look at
we'll do one each.
We'll do one each.
Because I don't trust Mike Johnson as far as I can throw him. But having said that, he is sort of stepping up, at least in terms of procedure.
Well, yeah, he doesn't seem to be a camouflage guy. There, I've got one card.
Mike Johnson.
So Jen, as you are the guest, would you mind going first? So close your eyes and then flick through the book, and then stop at a place and we'll hear your Shakespeare.
All right. Out of my sight, thou dost infect my eyes.
Yeah. Excellent.
Richard III.
Excellent. Yeah.
Thou dost infect my eyes.
I love it.
I love it.
Okay.
Lena, what do you have?
Away, you moldy rogue. Away. You moldy rogue. And it's from Henry IV.
Henry IV, yes. Awesome.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And then here I've got, I had rather chop this hand off at a blow, and with the other fling it in thy face. Yeah. Henry. This one says Henry VI, Part 3. I love that. I would rather chop off this hand at a blow, and with the other fling it at thy face. Oh, you can't go wrong with the Bard.
Insults they're not the same, are they? Really, you know.
No. So much imagination.
You're a loser doesn't cut it, you know.
No. Indeed. Amazing. And we've got 1,600 of you in the house. So thank you so much, everyone, folks, for bearing with us in these technical difficulties. There's a lot of astrological traffic, but things seem to be a bit calmer. Ladies, are you ready for the next question? Yes. All right, let me have a little rummage here. Let me just see. So what is it? So we've done China. Well, I didn't do China because I wasn't here. Let's see. Congress, yes. Let's see here. Ooh. Let's look at this one. Actually, no, let's go international again, and then we'll do a Bill Barr. Yeah, we'll do a Bill Barr. So Qatar is real. No, wait, there was another one. Sorry, it hasn't all fully loaded. Let me just go here 1 minute. Let me just put here sort by newest, and that's what brought up all the questions first because I had to change laptops, and I'm not even on my laptop now. Someone was asking something about, oh, here we are. This is quite interesting. So thousands rally in Spain's Canary Islands against mass tourism. Crowds want a limit on tourists, but also on developments taking place, which they say are damaging the community. Will the protests help curb them both? And then someone replied to Nicola and said, Holland is also starting to limit tourist accommodations as well. So just to change it up a little bit, I thought we've not had a question like that before.
Yeah. And
Let's
you've been
read on
to
that.
Gran Canaria, have you not, Hoagie?
Do you know what? I confess I have. I have. Now, look, no one can actually accuse me of being in a touristic area because I was actually close to a motorway and several flyovers. So I certainly wasn't there for the glamour, but I can understand why. Gran Canaria is not a very big place, but it's like with Venice, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. It's very similar in that sense. But it's also a global problem because Airbnb is radically unpopular in most places. And it's like Uber for me. I love the service. I hate the business model, love the service, you know. But it's driving rents up in Athens, in Paris, in Sydney, Melbourne, you know.
Yeah.
But I think this will actually have a wider question, for the wider world. I think the answers the cards give.
Oh, and someone said Hawaii's trying to do the same to ban Airbnb.
Pertinent question, eh? Yeah, pertinent.
Well, these beautiful places. May I go? Go for it.
Oh,
so I have the tower. But these beautiful places, because I have the cosmic seed. So this is the root of all in this this card. They want to go back to the way it was. The environment is becoming so damaged. You know, you go to Hawaii, you go to Hanauma Bay, and there is no reef. When I was a little girl and we would go there, you know, the fish were so plentiful and beautiful. I mean, that whole, I don't know if you're familiar with Hanauma Bay, but it's a snorkeling area in a volcano.
Wow.
But it's just gorgeous. But you go now and there's nothing, and it's dirty and heated. And yeah, folks, they want to go back to at least reduce the numbers. But you see that in a lot of parts of the world.
Absolutely.
That they want to rebuild. So it's breaking down, and that's what this mastery is to rebuild, regain. But they'll be at a crossroads for a while in the Canary Islands. I asked about the Canary Islands. I got the two. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
It's going to be a struggle for a bit.
Okay, Lena, what do you have?
Well, basically all the places we've named and talked about are hostage to the tourist economy. They're often places that don't have big manufacturing base or anything else, and this is the problem. And this is where the tension comes. They've got to find a balance between needing the tourist dollar and preserving their own environment. So this is the challenge here. So, for example, in Venice, they should ban the cruise ships, the huge monster cruise ships going into Venice. Take them to the mainland. If you want to go to Venice, you have to catch the train and then get on the Vaporetto. You know, you don't have to sail into St. Marco's Square, you know. So it's finding a balance is essential. And that involves partnerships with people and the earth. This is the drive for the dollar, but slowing down the pace. The Knight of Pentacles is more studious and measured instead of rushing forward, slow it down. So it might mean only for X months a year, or it might mean only so many people per year, or whatever, some sort of restriction that slows it down. And then the sun, it would be healthier for everybody. What did you get, Hoagie?
Interesting. So I read my cards, and actually there's a question I've just seen, which I think I should ask. It might be a bit controversial for some, but I think this does reflect a changing mood. But anyway, I'll answer my cards first. So in terms of, look, what do these people want who feel that they're being inundated by people from all corners of the world, detritus of the world, turning up on their shores, yeah, including myself not so long ago, yeah. But, you know, like I said, I wasn't in a tourist trap, but, you know, I needed some, you know, I was coughing and heaving and I needed the salt air to purify my lungs. Anyway, it helps. So this is what these people think of the tourists, yeah. We've got the death card. So I'm not necessarily saying these people want everyone dead. Yeah,
no.
Because, you know, as Lena said, they are sort of hostage to fortune in terms of, you know, economies and stuff like that. Listen, I love Gran Canaria, but it's not going to be a world-leading economy anytime soon. Yeah, it's very small. You can literally take one bus from the end to the top in about 2 hours, if that.
Yeah.
What this is really talking about is, and I think when we broaden this out, is they're looking for a transformation. Yeah, to things need to transform, things need to change. Maybe something needs to die in order something new to come forward. Because you know what, everyone's telling me this as well. It's this unchecked tourism begins to actually destroy the beauty for which people visit in the first place. Exactly. So this is what this card is telling me, is telling me here. So people aren't saying they don't want any tourism at all, but they want it to change. They want to change the terms. They want to feel more in control as well. They want to feel like they're riding in town, yeah, on the back of the horse, rather than being trampled, trampled underfoot. However, look, High Priestess is turned up in the obstacle position. So listen, the money folks, the ones that are really making a lot of dough on this, they ain't gonna want to stop, are they? Think about it. If you've got an Airbnb property, which I completely understand many people do because it's seen as a rich source of retirement income, etc., stuff like that. If I play devil's advocate and put the other hat on, so it's a tricky balance, because there are many people who have literally sold out their places for rent so people can come. So it's complicated. It's not gonna end overnight. Yeah, a lot of people are invested. Look at the middle card, as if we didn't need any more clarification. In the middle, we have the 9 of Pentacles, which of course is a card of wealth, abundance, independence, and stuff like that. So for many people, Airbnb has become a source of financial independence and security. But at the same time, maybe there should be a limit. Is it really fair that someone has 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 20, 30 properties that they're renting out? Come on, we need to have a bit of common sense. So obviously, there's a lot of money invested in this, and it is a global franchise now. Effectively, that's really what an Airbnb is. It's a franchise. It's a franchise. However, the system is creaking. 10 of Wands, it really is. And actually, in some places, I had actually learned recently, they said basically, in reality, America doesn't have a housing shortage. And I think it's similar for the UK, but they said literally, there are so many houses and properties that are on Airbnb. This is why people don't have enough properties. If they actually just release that, it would be fine. Anyway, I don't want to go off too far a tangent, but here we see, look, it's difficult, trying to get that balance, but it's also inefficient. And then the outcome here is the 5 of Wands. So, battling, scrabbling. There's not going to be a clear consensus on this because, of course, so many people are invested in that industry. If Gran Canaria said, no more tourists, we don't want to see you again for 3 years, guess what? Their economy would collapse.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's not even a joke. Like, it really would.
As would many places.
As with many places, and this is part of the reason why they want some British students back in Europe, because places like Magaluf and Torremolinos, what I call egg and chips, there's no one there. So do you see? But it's a balancing act. So I think it's going to be a struggle, but I do think they have a point, and I want to also, be on the side of the people. Sometimes it is just a bit too much. I'm sure.
Yes. And the problem is, because it's so successful as a model and a franchise, people can make more money Airbnb 3 months a year than renting all year round. So it does take permanent rentals off the market. I just read in the comments, Byron Bay, which is a tourist destination in Australia, has limited Airbnb to 60 days a year that people can rent out their properties. That's interesting.
That's good.
Wow, interesting.
That's smart.
And we just had a donation come in as well. So, Gian, thank you. I see an opportunity for eco-minded young people to visit these sites for free if they work on improvements to offset. Oh, I can't see the rest because I'm scrolling on my phone.
I love that idea. That's like the woofers and things. They go and work in some context. And get free accommodation and stuff.
Very good point. All right, let's look into this question. Then and then we'll do a Bill Barr, and we'll see if we can squeeze in a bit of Duck Larange at the end. So this is coming from ZZZZ-ZT. So ZZZT. Anyway, so she says, hi, Hoagie and Lena, and of course, Jen, your good self. So she says the West, particularly the USA and the UK, has continued to expose a dark side of themselves during this Israel-Palestine-Iran conflict. This has been hard to swallow and no longer sits right for so many people, and nothing they do feels safe. I think that's a fair point. It feels like the whole world is going to hell in a handcart right now, doesn't it? The world is watching the West continue to embolden and support and fund and provide arms to Israel, who has destabilized the whole region, this person says, and then save them from the consequences. And while the death toll has risen to 33,000, I think it's probably actually more than 33,000 now, because they stopped counting, didn't they, Lena?
Yes, that's my point. That death count has stalled. 3 months ago, it was 33,000.
So 33,000 dead isn't accurate. It's probably closer to 40 now, I would imagine. And I don't think that's actually hyperbole. I think that's probably correct. Or thereabouts. Will the West face the consequences of its choices in terms of, so she's saying, betraying us in terms of trying to do the right thing? It's a complicated question, but shall we see, how do you think we should frame this, Lena? You're the sociologist, you're the professor. Let's run that through your brain, and how can we contextualize that question?
Well, thanks for giving me Israel and Palestine, Kogi. That's great.
You can handle it.
Let's look at the energy going forward.
Yes.
In terms of how people regard this, because it's so huge.
Yeah, it's massive. And we have 1,749 with us live right now. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate the support. And sorry for the technical, but live TV.
It's sorted out now. It's good. Okay, so basically America and UK and Australia, because we tag along.
Commonwealth, you could say, almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Energy. Good question, though. Good question.
Yes.
And then we'll do a Bill Barr after this.
Wow, lots of comments. Wow. Wow.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Who's ready to go?
I can, if you like.
Go for it, Lena.
This Seven of Swords, I think, is talking about war generally. so what we forget with wars too, after the body count, the missing, the injured, it's also displacement. We've had more displacement of people since the Iraq war. Half the Iraqi population, 4 million people, were displaced. So I think this is talking about war more generally, impoverishes all of us.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you've still got to sit down and thrash out the end game, whether it's Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine. So we're all impoverished and struggling when there are these massive conflicts. The agendas are very cryptic and labyrinthine with this high priestess. You know, you've got the threads of these different agendas as opposed to just nationalism and so forth. And they're complicated. Karmically, I think this is again speaking to all of us. I'm not pointing fingers here. It's all of us as humans sharing a planet. We have to sort this out. We have to behave differently, which can't just kill people we disagree with endlessly.
Yeah.
We have to come to an agreement and rebuild. And I'm thinking this isn't just rebuilding a particular region of the Donbass or even Gaza or anything else. It's rebuilding our relationships and our attitude to conflict. It's real caveman stuff. And here we are, you know, thousands of years on, hitting people over the head with a club symbolically. You know, it's primitive thinking. And it doesn't make anybody safe. Just the people who've been clubbed on the head eventually come round and get 2 clubs. You know, like on it goes.
Yeah, indeed. Jen, what do you have?
Well, I got the 4. It's overwhelming. It's gonna overwhelm. It's overwhelming, the energy. But that's what I asked. What will be the effect? And it's gonna take a lot to rebuild. You know, in the United States, it's going to affect how we move forward, our young people move forward. It's really split us and caused it's going to change the motivations of the young in how we move forward. It's not the same. It won't be the same. It's causing a major rift. It's going to change how kids vote. And if they vote, it's going to change our politics. It's going to change who is in power.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying for a while. Yeah.
It's skewed, you guys. It's right. It's very skewed.
Okay. Is that you, Don Jen, or do you have any more cards, or
no? I'm seeing stuff, but it's okay. Just go.
Okay. Okay. So the overall energy, and then we'll do a Bill Barr, you know, after this, which will probably close the show. The time's gone so quick. Well, obviously I was missing for half the show, but you know what I mean. Anyway. So if we look here, the energy around it, the West involvement, the Middle East, everything coming to a head, everything coming to a crescendo, Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. We've had Mars, Saturn conjunction. Everyone's having a bloody conjunction right now. Anyway, so if we look here, we have got the Queen of Swords. So I'm hoping that cooler heads will prevail. The Queen of Swords is supposed to be sane, rational, calm, clear, sharp. Yeah, one would hope, isn't it? One would hope. What I'm looking forward to potentially is when Jupiter moves out of warlike Aries and goes into the sign of peace, which is Taurus. And that will happen on the 1st of May, sidereally. Obviously, in Western astrology, they're saying that Jupiter and Uranus are in Taurus now. They're not. They're in Aries, the sign of war. What's happening? War is bloody everywhere. It's just obvious. Just look at the news. But hopefully, maybe saner heads will prevail. However, look what turns up in the obstacle position. Ace of Pentacles, money, funding. So just like Lena said, sometimes when you're asking one question, something else comes out the side. Isn't this about Ukraine as well? Isn't this also as well about how much war is costing? We're talking not even billions anymore.
You can't count it.
Trillions, yeah?
Yeah.
So much. We look here, look, it's a balancing act. In the middle, again, we've got the Two of Pentacles here, but this can also talk about values, as Lena will often remind us. And I think we are in this kind of juggling state of values. The Pluto return is here, and a lot of this is to do as well as what does America value? What are its values? But not just that. What are the values in the West in general? We've got 49% of the world's population voting this year, and actually the indicators are that maybe a lot of the Western countries or European countries might go to the right. A lot is in the balance, yeah? He's trying to keep this balance here, but the seas are choppy behind. So I think this is talking a lot about how values are being reassessed and changed in the West. Major arcana, sorry, I need to cover over the boobies, as we all know. Well, mind you.
Have you got the Chariot? I'm just going by the thing. Yes.
I know the Chariot. It's always, because you got two pairs of cleavage out on each one, and nipples as well. But anyway, so everything is charging forward at a pace. Yeah, we just feel. Doesn't everyone just feel like we're strapped into a seat on a roller coaster and we're not sure when this is going to end? Some of those horror roller coasters, do you know what I mean? Really ugly and bad. But then look, we've got the outcome card here is the Wheel of Fortune. So again, it's still up in the air, folks. Yeah. This does have a whiff of Jupiter, but also as well, there is the Uranian element, the unexpected, the unpredictable. So for me, I'm not expecting things to calm down until Jupiter's probably quite a few weeks into sidereal Taurus. We're still on this warlike path. Hopefully it doesn't blow up too much. Mind you, Iran kind of reeled it in a little bit, didn't they? They said they weren't going to respond to the strike of their radar systems. I think they decided to protest instead. So let's hope it doesn't go.
Right.
Anything to add to that, ladies, before we move to Bill Barr?
Well, in the comments, Salome says, fact and rationality are being sacrificed. And I think that sums up so much of what is going on,
Well, it's kind of
not rational.
Yeah, it's not rational. It's not rational. All right, let's squeeze in. Oh, look at that. Okay, so look, the show's gone so quickly, but let's quickly squeeze in a Bill Barr question. We've not heard that much from him of late. So where's the question here? Give me a minute. Un momento. Qatar, Holland, Spain.
I can tell you if you like what the issue is at the moment. Bill Barr.
Oh yeah. So question is from CC Ryder.
Yeah.
And says,
hi, CC.
Why is Bill Barr now publicly announcing his support for Trump after denouncing his behavior for 3 years? Is he really? Oh my God, man, insufferable.
He is the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst.
No, he's so gross.
Do you know what? What we can do is, how about we do a 1-card pull each and then some Shakespeare on Bill Barr, because we need to have close the show on this. All right. So do you know this, James?
When we do this, we pull 1 card each.
And then we'll do a Shakespeare.
Okay.
All right.
Bill Barr.
Oh my gosh. Yuck. But for like 3 years now, he's been
trashing Trump.
Trashing Trump. Yeah. Didn't he write a book? Did he write a book?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wrote a book. Oh wait, you're supposed to wait till 3.
Oh,
sorry, I should have said. So we'll count
It's all right. We
and
didn't
we'll
see it.
reveal.
It's an unusual
We've seen
day.
it now.
It was too
All
close.
right.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3.
I got
Now
3 of
I'm
swords.
You've
So,
got 3 of swords.
So, Jen, how do you interpret your card?
Oh, stabbing America in the heart. Stabbing Trump in the heart. Well, no, now it's stabbing America in the heart. I am stunned. But I see he's doing this as yes, he doesn't like Trump. McConnell doesn't like Trump. A lot of them don't like Trump, but they are backing Trump. That's their party. They're Republicans. They want the Republican to win. So yeah.
I know. It's just shocking.
Okay. What's the Hermit about, Lena?
Well, with the Hermit, I think whatever's going on for Bill Barr is in there deep, because it sure as hell can't be defended in the usual ways. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene is a fitness trainer, and it shows in the sense that her grasp of world politics. But his is buried so deep. And I wonder if he hasn't got secrets. I wonder if someone doesn't have dirt on Bill Barr.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of dirt there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I'm sure, remember, Bill Barr and his father were very good friends with a certain Epstein. Let's not forget. Let's not forget.
I had forgotten.
Indeed. And look, and I'm not one to lay compliments often at the doorstep of Marjorie Taylor Greene, aka leaky douchebag blowhard. But if there's one thing that she can do, at least she's consistent. Yeah, she's rabid. She's absolutely batshit. She's always blonde. I give her that. But at least she's consistent. Yeah. You know what you get? She's totally great. She's totally out there. But you know what you get? Here, look at my card. Sums it up, doesn't it? Look, 7 of Swords. Deep in the night, the pragmatist. Well, not the pragmatist. This is someone who has something to hide. Has something to hide. He has been absolutely consistent in his literally trouncing of Duc d'Orange, and we thought, wow, some sanity at last. But then there's something, like, as you know, Lena and I disagree on this slightly differently, isn't it? Because Lena says Trump doesn't read, and you're right, he doesn't, but he does like to read classified documents and dirt he has on people. He even eats them. And I think he's got stuff on Bill Barr, and he's just rang him up, and he's just been
remember the yacht,
exactly. So shall we see what Shakespeare has to say about Bill Barr? There's over 1,800 of you joining us now. Thank you so much, and we'll close there.
So Bill Barr.
Barr, what does the bard have to say about Bill Barr? Oh my God.
Look at all that alliteration. Bill Barr and the Bard.
Oh,
Bill Barr and the Bard.
Bill Barr and the Bard. All right. Are we ready? Who wants to go first?
Jen,
go on, Jen.
Okay. Scratching could not make it worse. Such a face as yours. Much ado about nothing. Scratching could not make it worse. Such a face as yours.
No.
Lena, what do you have?
I love this. Send thy soul to hell, pernicious bloodsucker of sleeping men.
Wow.
Henry VI.
Oh, my goodness.
What have you got, Hogarth?
Oh, my one's short and tart, which is sometimes the best from the bard. This is from Henry IV, part 1. It says, "Teeth, ye fat guts."
Oh, that's so good.
Kind of sums it up, eh? He's slightly Jupiterian, isn't he, the old Bill Barr? Yeah, peace, ye fat guts. Well.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, in these times, what I would say is, folks, remember, no matter how bad it gets, we still need to be able to have a little bit of a laugh. I came from a comedy event before the show, and they were absolutely hilarious. And my closing thoughts were, if we could laugh more at each other, with each other, at the absurdity of the human condition, I think there would be a lot less war in the world. But ladies, before we close, Jen, what are your closing thoughts?
Oh,
Yeah.
on the world or
Yeah, just say on the world.
Just a random thought.
Oh, well, I wasn't prepared. Yeah, more look within, I'd say, and we would have less division because our outer is a reflection of the inner. So if we get our home in order, our house in order, it's a reflection of what can happen on the outside.
Lovely. And Lena, passing thoughts, closing thoughts.
I think just be kind to someone who doesn't look like you. And if you keep that as a guideline, try it for a week. It's an interesting social experiment.
Wonderful. Well, we will leave it there, folks. Jen, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, it will be a pleasure to have you back. We're going to be looking at maybe a rotation thing until Lady G is better. Lady G, if you're watching, get well soon. Lena, thank you for joining us Sunday morning. Happy in Australia. Happy Sunday as well to everyone who watches us on Sunday, usually with a nice coffee. Thank you as well for donations and your comments and your love and support of the show. I hope we've been able to give you a little bit of a giggle to lift the gloom in these kind of strange and chaotic and weird times that we're in. This really is an extraordinary time to be alive. But don't forget the humor. Don't forget the magic, which is also coming. Oh, yes, and I finished my book edit today. The front cover's done. I might make it for Monday. The whole world might be destroyed. I might be like, hey, folks, my book's out.
It'll be a good celebration.
But, anyway, so I will leave it there. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. Thank you, everyone else, for joining us. And
Thank you so much, viewers.
Big love. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.